Said my chest feels weird. I guess I'm just hoping everything goes okay. Okay. Welcome back. It is episode 47 of Everybody Loves Raiken. Last time, you all teleported into the city of Volinar and began to fight your way through the Drow, who have replaced the city guards as they patrol the street. After defeating the squad that forcefully entered the Archmage's mansion, Nalia Drathis, you disguised yourselves as Drow, using Leah's seeming spell, and proceeded to try and bluff your way through other patrols on the streets that you were ordered to take Nalia to the palace. Now, this bluff seemed to work on the first couple sets of guards, who began to escort you to the palace. But as you approached Castle Lightstone itself, one of the groups of archers guarding the way, guarding the path across the moat to the keep itself, stopped and asked where the order came from, and when this got translated into Common for you, as your bluff had included using Common in the presence of Nalia, Leah responded that the order had come from Lord Sivin, to which the Drow asking seemed to become enraged, and shouted verbatim, "No order Sivin." That should be interpreted by the party as they will. Either way, at that point, all of the Drow escorting the party drew weapons, and combat began. And what a combat it was in this heavy rainstorm, this heavy thunderstorm, as the party fought against these Drow, more or less in their element, until Laramendis ordered Ash to begin shedding daylight, which is something the party has never seen the artifact do before. So, at this point, all of the Drow on the street, who were engaged in melee combat with the party, had been defeated. They had begun to try to fall back toward the palace, and Cyrus had walled off their escape into the keep. At this point, Jebel is an elephant, having transformed with his last point of wild shape, and the party must determine what it's going to do now that there is nobody immediately around you. Remember that visibility is low due to heavy sheets of rain falling, and that attacking distant targets with physical weaponry, such as bows, is at disadvantage due to the high winds. So, we rejoin during combat. I think it was Jebel's turn. Does anyone remember? I forgot that was an important piece of information I needed to have.
No idea.
Yeah.
It wasn't mine because it was the last time you forgot about me. So it's after me, I know that.
Yeah. I think that...
Or was it Cyrus because the bad guys moved and you said, okay, we're going to stop it?
Okay,
Now we
that's...
can't really see the bad guys.
Yeah. Okay, that makes the most sense. Thank you, Alex. Yes, I had them finish their turn, and then we ended, because the last guy that was near you, this guy represented by the bloodied indicator, had finally made it down the bridge, which would mean we would be beginning with Cyrus in combat. So, all of these would be considered to be heavily obscured by the rainstorm due to distance, and bow firers know disadvantage on attacks. So, the last of the drow that was on your side of the moat has retreated across the bridge. Cyrus, you created a wall of stone that is 10 feet high and 1 foot thick. So we'll begin with you, Cyrus.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see I was muted in Discord. My bad. Alright. What's my, distance from the drow at this point?
90 feet to the nearest on the bridge.
Alright.
And 80 feet to the ones in the towers. Nearest one in the tower.
So now the question is, do I fireball or do I shatter?
Could you put a wall of fire on the bridge so that they're caught between a wall of stone and a wall of fire?
No, they're both concentration.
Oh.
Jebel could, but he's a elephant.
That would have been fun.
He's a snowball.
I'm gonna cast fireball at 3rd level.
Where are you placing it?
Just far enough out that just scrape the back row so it's not damaging the wall. If that's possible. But I think it's still going to scrape the sides.
So, 20-foot radius, right?
I believe so. Let me double check. Yep, 20-foot sphere. Like radius sphere.
Okay. There's that. Sam, I believe that this is the 3rd round, so you have 7 rounds of sunlight left.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, so I need some dex saves. And I'm going to roll me some dice.
Alright, so 21 got a 23. 23 got a 27. 22 for 19. That is a 16 for number 24. And a 17 for 22.
Alright, well, they all succeed.
Okay.
So they take 30 points of damage and then half it for succeeding on the save.
Alright, so 15 points of damage.
33.
33, so 16 points of damage.
Forgot to add my charisma.
Okay, let's see here. Where is... No. I already have this over here, do I? You should. No, doesn't look like I do. Okay. Nope.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to make a 5th level spell slot with 7 sorcery points.
21. 16 points of damage. 22. 23. 4. And then 19. Okay. Alright, so you see this fiery explosion illuminate the raindrops from the middle of the approximate center of the bridge. Now, the bridge is stone and metalwork. Two, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 10 by 10 by 1 panels of stone. Just so you know, Derek.
Yep.
We'll mark them from left to right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just mark down that panels 1 and 5 each took that 33 points of fire damage.
Alright, I'll pull up the health tracker for them.
Thank you.
And then I'd like to use my movement to try and get as close to Raiken as possible, so I'm hopefully within save radius.
Okay, I'm going to just delete this fire up here so that people aren't worried that they're walking into something, because it's not an ongoing effect.
Yep.
You're moving close to Raiken. Just right here, or just close enough?
As close as I can get, because I expect he's going to move, so I'm going to want to keep pace as best I can.
Alright, do you want to get ahead of him?
If I can, sure.
Yeah,
I'll
you've
move
got
as far as
25
I
feet of movement, right?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, it can put you one step ahead of him. That way, you're at least closer to his final destination. Alright,
Yep.
is that everything for your turn?
Yep, I do a movement, action, and bonus action.
Okay, cool. Then, that means that next up is Jebel. You are an elephant, you are here, you have elephant move speed. And you can see that these guys up in the tower are now taking aim.
If I move 35 feet east.
At an angle?
Nope. No, straight east.
Well, after 25 feet, there's an ally.
Yeah. But he is... Are halflings able to...
It's...
No, they can move through allied spaces.
Yeah, moving across him is still going to cost you double movement per the moving through allied squares rule.
Hmm. So I've moved 25 there.
Unless size changes that. Is that only for medium and larger creatures? Is it a small creature?
I think the only thing that size affects is if enemies can prevent you. If it's two size categories larger, I don't think it can stop you because you just run through its legs.
Okay.
Actually, if I can still move 35 if I stop, like, south of him.
Yeah, you can still move 35, and so, you know, right there.
Is that 35?
Yeah, that's 35.
Just 1 second, right? Yeah, if I move one more south.
Is part of the same movement, or do you want to turn? I mean, not that the end result is any different. You can get to here with 35 feet.
It's as an elephant, I have 40 feet of movement, so I want to be within 40 feet of
I mean, so 35 feet of movement, you know, beelining stuff, you could get all the way to here on just a direct line if you moved that way.
I don't want to get that close. Do you pop me 3 squares up? Yeah, there.
So, like, this is directly adjacent to Cyrus. This is with a 5-foot gap, a 10-foot gap, a 15-foot gap. So, I mean, you can be centered on this roadway here, but you can be, you know, up to, like, 40 feet or something. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet separated from him.
It's not just because I think there's a bit of lag between me hearing your voice and seeing the thing moving on the screen, so I'm just gonna say 3 squares between Cyrus and myself.
Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. So here, we'll wait for that to update for you, but...
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna drop you right here. 1, 2, 3 if you include the square with the body, which you should.
Which I do. And we can start from them, and I don't think I can actually do anything now.
You could always double move.
I could, but then the elephant's attack is the charge.
Yeah. Alright, then you're just setting up for your next turn. That's fine too.
Yeah. Okay, that's me.
Okay. So, after Jebla, it becomes Raiken's turn. You are surrounded by death.
Good. Is that thing, that orange square, if I run into that, is that going to hurt me?
Technically no, but it is probably something that would go through your character's mind and be like, I don't want to run through a floating ball of fire, so you can just go around it.
Yeah, he's had too many bad experiences with fireball.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it doesn't cost you any more movement to go this way around it.
yeah, he's just gonna go forward. Where does 30 feet put him?
Puts you right in the middle of Jebel vertically. North-south way, Lee.
Can you back it out a little bit?
Yep. Yeah. It would put you there. For one movement.
Okay.
Right by my bum.
Right
Yep.
by your bum. Nice.
It's the rival connection.
Hold on, I gotta take a look at my thing for a second.
Brandon's
Okay, looks
bum.
like I should still be able to do it. I will put my hunter's mark that went. Now that it's free to be used again because the thing that had it died.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it on the one to the direct left of the dead unit.
Okay. Rain makes things hard to see, but not impossible, so you're going to put it on 23.
Yeah.
State. I think this was other 3. Yeah, 3. Alright, I've marked him.
Okay. And then that'll be my turn then. Yeah, that's gonna be all. Well, maybe I'll
That was
dash and do that?
was that a bonus action to move it, or
Yeah.
a no action?
Yeah, it was should be just a bonus action. Let me just make sure.
I think at most it's probably a bonus action.
Yeah, I'll use the bonus action.
Okay, so yeah, you still have an action left. So
So
you
I-
could trade that in for a dash.
Yeah, I'll trade it in for a dash.
Alright. So you want to go the full 30 feet, which would put you about 2/3 of the... Well, exactly halfway across the bridge, really, if we go by the water.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Do you want to stay, like, because you have the ability to move about, you could put yourself directly in the middle of the bridge, or do you want to stay canted to one side?
I'll go middle of the bridge.
Okay.
Well, no. Hopefully, yeah, I would say because of how big Jubble was he just passed, and
Yeah.
he wants to give him the room, he will stay on the side in case Jubble comes up.
Okay. That's good, considering your teammates' plans is a good idea.
Yeah, so that'll be my turn then. Now.
Okay. Lair, it's your turn. You are here.
Okay. I am going to move. I think I can move to the square on the left of Jebel at the top side of him.
Let's see. Yeah, you could get to here, his top corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, we'll go there. You know that there are targets now 85 feet away, silhouetted in the heavy rain. You can see these shadowy shapes at the top of the tower, contrasted against the gray stone.
Mm-hmm. And I think... Can I see the ones at the wall well enough to hit one, or no? I don't know what the actual view distance is.
Alright, let's see here.
Also, my daylight comes with me.
Very good point. That would be necessary. That was 20-foot radius, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Daylight, daylight. And if you wouldn't mind keeping track of the 10 rounds where on that you are, just mark it off at the end of each of your turns.
Alright.
Got too much to keep track of. And thank you. Okay, so you moved, your daylight came with you, and you can see that Raiken has moved out to the middle of the bridge. There is a wall of stone at the bridge, and the flagstones of the bridge and the stone wall around them, or at least the white stones of the bridge, are now scorched and blackened. As Raiken strides across them, and that there are 4 standing forms up against the wall of stone that Jebel created. Jebel Cyrus.
Good enough sight to hit one of them?
Uh, 50 feet. Yeah.
Okay. I am going to cast... I can't trip. I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost. At the one on the far left, the one directly in front of me. That was bad. Does a 13 hit?
There's a 13 hit on this guy. No. No, 13 will not hit.
And that is my turn.
Okay. Nalia. Going to move up to there. And she's going to... Let's see. Make sure she has a spell. That would be important. Spells. Doesn't look like she has that one prepared. Nope. What's this? 100 feet, 50 feet. Why? What is the range? Oh, this is so badly worded. Okay. Because it's not written in a way that actually tells me the information I need to know, I need to just make a call here. I'm going to say that that's got to be what they meant. Boo boo. Yeah, okay. So, she is going to... Wow. Really?
Jesus.
Yup. That is what it does.
It is very big.
Yeah.
It is, like, so big.
It is, like, so big. It's a 50-foot radius spell.
One might say absurdly big.
Okay. And she's going to be starting it up, you know, at the top of the tower where they are. So it's going to go up from there. So it won't affect anything lower than the top of the tower. So even though it hits this huge area, there actually isn't a visual effect for it. I just needed to see where it was myself. You're not going to hear anything through this heavy downpour around you. But you will suddenly see the figures at the top of the tower begin grasping at the stone around them, and then, like, their feet leave the ground and they begin drifting up, trying to hold on to anything they can.
Oh, that's just mean.
Yeah, that's, oof.
They fall into the sky. They rise about 100 feet above where they started.
Well, I need to put a song on now.
They become more heavily obscured by the falling water and fog. So, I'm gonna just have to marker these guys. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. She incants the words and points at the location, and as you see them drift away, she goes, "Well, that should keep them busy for a while." And then it becomes Narvar's turn. He's going to dismiss his fireball spell. He's going to move up. And he is going to cast Magic Missile. Okay. Let's try that again. Because whenever the first time I enter a search term, it ignores all but the first letter of the search term. Like, why? Alright. One creature. Range 20 squares. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, totally can. Okay. So you see him flourish his sword, and then point it directly ahead at the people who are up against the stone wall, and you see this crackle of sparkling magical energy, and you recognize the missile, the spear point that is the wizard's favorite first level spell, Magic Missile, as a single dart flies out from the end of the sword and strikes, embedding itself in the stone wall behind the guy.
Gotta hurt.
Harbour kind of blinks through the rain, looks at his sword, and blinks over again. And goes, I mean, the rain's making things hard to see. Gotta aim the magic a little better. Leah, it's your turn.
There's just a look of shock on Armendis' face.
Yeah, the enemies are directly below us, or?
They're directly south of you,
Yeah.
on the bridge. They're up against the stone
just-
wall.
Yeah, I just couldn't see because it was scrolled up.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to go to where you are. You're way back here.
Yeah, but I could also shoot that far, I think, because Eldritch Blast is crazy.
Well, yes, except that it's now a heavy rainstorm, and so beyond maybe 100 feet, heavily obscured, is acting like you're blind. Let's
Oh.
see here. Measurement.
In that case, I want to move forward.
And they're exactly 100 feet away.
Oh, okay. Then I want to move maximum distance into the gold, but also a little to the left.
Okay, so maybe here on the grass.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be fine.
There you go.
Doesn't matter if I stand on grass or not. Yeah.
Maybe. All right, 70 feet away. You can
Yeah,
see them a
that's
bit better now. Better enough that you're not at disadvantage to attack them.
I'm going to attack the furthest one to the left.
Assuming you're as well. Okay, the furthest one to the left, and you are going to send a Eldritch Blast at him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, 3 blasts.
Yeah, all right. 3 blasts versus 21.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it's actually specified as 3 beams. So.
It's called Eldritch Blast. It's a blast.
We're gonna have a blast.
We can have a 3 blasts. Let's see. That's very likely I hit. 28. No, 26.
That'll hit.
26. Yeah. Okay. And do one at a time now. Why not?
Okay.
Then it's easier to switch shift the target's dice.
Okay.
Which it likely wants, but whatever. So that's Plus 5, yeah. So 11 points of force damage.
11 points of force damage. Quel dommage. Alrighty, next blast. He's still standing after that one.
Yeah. Oof. 17.
17 will hit.
Oh, really? This shouldn't be. Okay. Oh, wow. 8 points of force damage.
8 points of force damage.
That was
Still
pathetic.
standing.
Yeah, I mean, it was pathetic. So. Oh, critical hits.
Woohoo! A particularly forceful explosion of force energy occurs at the end of your wand, almost throwing your wrist back over your head as it explodes out, and this sparkling, purple mass of crackling energy flies down across the bridge.
And deals 10 points of force damage.
He is still standing.
Yeah, I mean, it was 3 and a 2.
I will
say, what's the other die deal?
Yeah.
That is unfortunate. It was so close.
I hate casting low on damage when they crit, because it's like, it feels like it's wasted. Like half the amount one die would do normally is what I got with 2 dice.
Well, so there are other ways of handling critical damage. What we currently do is you roll double dice, and that's it. You could do the other method that I've encountered, which feels a lot better, is that you only roll 1 times the die, but you assume maximum on the first die. So you take maximum from a single die, and then just roll a second die. So you're rolling fewer dice, but you're guaranteed higher damage.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that will make things more powerful, but we've been playing this way the entire time, so...
I just want you to know that we have the option, and we can just switch to that if people would prefer it. Everybody crits now and then. Do you prefer rolling more dice, or would you prefer to have higher average damage when you crit, so that crits feel better?
I don't know. I like the mystery of rolling dice. I mean, if it screws up, it screws up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I do that too. I'm very struggling because I know I have very shitty luck on dice rolls, but at the same time I do like the randomness, and that's why I also have in my own campaigns, when I set them up, I also do the roll AC thing because I like the randomness aspect. So it's kind of against my character, as in my real life character, to go for a less random option.
Alright, well, other people, if you have other feelings, you can DM me and we can handle this democratically at a later time. Alright then. That's the end of your turn. You moved and you cast a spell. Okay. Then after Leah, we are back to the top of the order. And it is Vendar's turn. Vendar, you know that your party is moving southward, towards Lightstone Keep. You are aware that the enemies have fled that way, but as the storm has thickened, as the rainfall has gotten heavier, you find that you can't really see what's going on at the far end of the bridge anymore. You can see that there were soldiers at the top of the tower nearby to the southwest here, but you saw them suddenly begin to float up into the sky and begin to disappear into the low-hanging clouds.
I was muted. I'm gonna double move down to the group.
Okay. So, a straight line double move full would get you this far south. So where would you like to be in relation to the group? In relation to the road?
Can you put me right there? Like three to the left of Chapel.
Okay. Right here, I'll wait, it should update, and there should be 2...
Yeah.
Do you want 2 spaces in between, or 3 spaces in between?
2 spaces in between.
Okay, perfect. Right there. Boom. You double move. You have an action remaining. You are now close enough to see these people and fire at them. Though do remember that you have disadvantage due to the heavy rain and high wind if you use the bow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna...
No?
Kind of poison set. I'm not gonna shoot, no.
No? Okay. Alright. So what... you're gonna apply poison instead?
I'm looking at my poisons.
Okay. I'll give you a moment to do that.
Oh, fuck it. I got some Drow poison. I'll apply some Drow poison to my purple worm longsword. I'll put my bow away.
May I make one comment?
Is it tactical?
Yes, but it's about a thing he should know about his abilities.
What?
Okay.
You can't get sneak attack with a longsword, just so you know.
What? God.
It's a strength weapon. It has to be dex.
Right, that's right. It has to be fucking finesse. That's why I didn't have a longsword in the first place. That's why I wanted a goddamn scimitar. But the scimitar's finesse, but I can't use it.
Rapiers exist.
What's the point of a scimitar being a fucking finesse weapon?
Just trying to be true to life, I guess, because they would be dual-wielded by the Saracens and thrown by the Saracens. I mean, they do 1d6 damage, so they're pretty low on the totem pole of melee weapons, especially martial melee weapons.
Right.
I'm not certain why rogues are decidedly not proficient with scimitars, but they're not. Previous editions had a little bit better differentiation of weapons because of other factors, like the way they treated critical attacks. I think scimitars were...
proficient with a longsword and not a
Scimitar?
scimitar.
I don't know. I didn't write the class. They decided to make them not proficient with scimitars. Even though it's kind of a thievy, roguey weapon if you think of, like, 1001 Arabian Nights.
It seems like anybody who is, like, they're the class that makes most sense to use a scimitar.
It's they gave rogues all simple melee weapons, and then a couple select martial melee weapons, and then they decided that the scimitar was a martial melee weapon.
Yeah, I mean, based on the scimitar's history, I would guess it would be best with either rogue or barbarian.
Yeah, it's a little strange. Tell you what.
Right.
How does Vendar feel about the scimitar?
I mean, he liked the scimitar, but it was primarily because it was a finesse weapon. It was a finesse sword. But he has the rapier, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Okay. Okay.
I'll apply it to the rapier then. I forgot that it was a thing. I really have no reason to have this longsword then.
I mean, you're proficient with it, it's just not finesse.
Goes with your hat.
Yeah, I mean,
Goes with your hat.
it's just there for fucking look. I guess it is a poison longsword, but it's... Without sneak attack, that's like the entirety of my class.
It is very important. It is odd that they decided to make them proficient specially proficient with a weapon that they can't use with their class feature, I can't speak to it, but I do believe in making like small alterations to characters that incorporate their backstory a bit better, like a person not starting with a race standard language because they grew up in an area that didn't speak that language, and so substituting it for another language that was spoken in the area, that kind of a thing. So, being brought up, and perhaps Vendar was particularly affectionate for the scimitar and would know how to use that and not a longsword.
Well, why not a short sword?
I mean, I can use short swords. Short swords just suck.
Short swords are the same as scimitars at the end of the day. They're both d6 damage. Just one's slashing and one's piercing.
Right, but can I use a short sword as finesse?
Short swords are finesse.
Short swords are finesse.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just the only difference between short sword and scimitar is the slashing or piercing damage.
Because I think also that scimitars are light, right? I know that short swords are light.
Yeah, I'm looking at them here.
Okay, cool.
It also may have been
a
the
little
thing
bit more
is
away, a
that
little bit more.
Whoa.
there was when we started the campaign, it was suggested that it would be good to have multiple different
Damage types.
and then that turned out to not really be necessary.
I think it's always a good idea, but to each their own.
But I don't actually even have a short sword on me, so.
The
And
undead
unless
that
we
you were
decide to
facing.
say that we made that long sword a short sword instead.
The undead that you were facing at the beginning were resistant to piercing damage, so. That kind of thing can matter.
Yeah, the
But I mean, if you're gonna do piercing,
that.
a rapier is better.
Yes, a rapier is better if you want piercing.
Yeah, there's not really any. There's no finesse, because the scimitar was the only finesse slashing, and then I turned out to not be able to use it.
I mean, you're not proficient with it, but I mean, I'm saying that because this is something that hasn't come into play before, but it can make sense that your character is trading out proficiency with longsword for scimitar just because they were a person who liked that, you know, developing backstory.
And I'd be good with that. He did use scimitars before we started D&D Beyond, and I didn't know I couldn't use scimitars.
So, I mean, why don't we just make that part of the backstory? If that's something you want, it'll make you different. People can say, you know, you're really good with that. Most people trained the way you are aren't. What's up with that?
Okay.
I would just, you know, you should think of some reasons that the character likes that weapon that are outside of the stats things.
Okay.
Make some story for it. But yeah, I'm fine with that. It hasn't really come into play before, and it's a minor enough thing that I just say, all right, you're not proficient with longswords, but you are proficient with scimitars then.
Okay. So I'll just apply the poison to my rapier then, because I also don't have a scimitar on me anymore. Because once I found out I wasn't proficient with it, I sold it.
You're killing me, Smalls. Okay. You poison your rapier. Your rapier.
Oh, there's some drow poison in my rapier.
Is now poisoned. Drow poison. Okay. Alright, so that is you, which means it's now Yukikaze's turn.
I got a lot of distance to cover, so get moving.
Ba ba ba. Ba ba. 30 feet would get you directly next to Vendar.
No, I'm gonna be more forward on the bridge.
Okay, so in order to do that, you're gonna have to double move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just push forward toward Raiken.
Okay, you can get directly adjacent to right. Didn't that move? Oop. You can get direct. Oh, because I'm in measure mode. That would be why. Alright. Well, I already showed the path that you could take. You can get directly adjacent to Raiken if you want to, or you could be directly behind him if you preferred that. Remember that you've seen this elephant stomping around in front of you, and it seems to be trying to line itself up for something.
Alright, I guess I would have the common sense to know that probably guessing that Jebel's going to charge forward.
It seems reasonable. You've seen the elephant move around the battlefield and do this once before.
Crap. I was actually gonna get up next to Raiken and look at him and smirk. But anyways. Like, yeah. But anyways, alright, yeah, I'll just move behind him. That's fine.
Okay. So that's your action. You still have a bonus action. Anything you can do with it?
Not from the distance, so I'm good. That's it.
Alright. Bad guys. Alright, so you're going to hear a couple of words exchanged in Undercommon. Again, none of you understands, and by you, I mean Yukikaze and Raiken, who are the closest, as the Drow who are backed up to this stone wall are looking around and talking for a second, and then they are, in order, going to level their bows. The 19's dead, which gives us 21, 22, 23, and 24. Okay. Alright. These were all just guys with bows. So, 21, gonna shoot Raiken. For a 22 to hit.
That is going to miss.
Okay. It glances off of your shield. 22, going to shoot at Yukikaze. For a 14 to hit.
No.
Alright, 23, back to Raiken. For very much a miss. Forgot to roll those guys at disadvantage. They missed anyway, but... they missed by more with disadvantage. And then the last guy, 24... doesn't actually raise a bow. He raises a hand wardingly in front of him, like telling you to stop almost, and all of a sudden the area is covered in a dark, impenetrable cloud of night. Boom. Not nearly as easy to see as I've been hoping. It's on the correct layer, at least. Okay. Yeah, nope. Those guys are off in the clouds. These guys are going to try and rain down. The thing that they can see most easily is the elephant. Ooh.
The elephant in the room?
The elephant on the bridge. Even with disadvantage, this guy rolled pretty well. He got a 21 to hit the elephant. Jebel?
Yeah?
A 21 to hit with an arrow from one of the guys in the tower.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So, you receive 10 points of non-magical piercing damage.
Elephants have surprisingly low AC.
I mean, they're big. Back in 3.5, you used to lose points of AC when you changed size because bigger things were easier to hit and smaller things were harder to hit. So if you got smaller, your AC went up.
I can understand that, but I just look like
Wow!
thick hide. You imagine like not hippo. Yeah, hippos. Hippos are practically bulletproof. They got very, very dense thick hide.
Yeah. Well, these guys are rolling like champions with their disadvantage. The first one was a 13 and a 15. This one's a 17 and an 18. So that's gonna hit.
Me?
You're the big target, so they're all aiming at you.
Okay.
6 more points of damage. Piercing, non-magical. And then the third guy. A 19 and a 19. I know why Rowan did so well when he was at disadvantage.
Yeah, it's the Drow advantage. Come on. It's not the last.
Disadvantage is Drow advantage. What the hell? And he maximized damage, so 12 points.
This is why you never fight a Drow in sunlight.
Suddenly their disadvantage rolls are all really high. Why can't I roll like this when I'm a player?
I know, right? Gotta be a Drow, which is how it works.
Okay,
Maybe Eskel will have better luck soon.
maybe.
Needs to get him some disadvantage.
Right. Goodness gracious.
Great balls of fire.
Cyrus. A cloud of impenetrable darkness just exploded and covered up the bridge from view. You can no longer see your stone wall. You can no longer see the enemies. You can no longer see the two Dragonborn.
Alright. To be fair, I couldn't see most of that through the elephant.
You can see now that there is a billowing cloud of what can only be described as physical darkness extending over the edges of the bridge and, like, dripping into the river.
Alright, how far will 25 feet get me towards the front of the daylight?
The elephant is problematic. If we go this way instead...
I should be able to just move through him.
Because of
my
two size
halfling.
categories?
Because of two size categories and because of my halfling.
Okay, well that would end you underneath him, 25 feet.
So I can't stay there.
You could double move.
I could.
That would get you into the darkness if you wanted to maximize that.
No, I'll double move just to the edge of the sunlight.
Okay. The sunlight ends here, 40 feet. Good?
Yep.
Okay.
Do I know if the wall's been broken?
Does your spell let you know when the wall becomes compromised?
Well, I know if I'd lose all of it, because it's concentration. So
Okay.
if the entire thing was gone, I know it because I was having...
Alright, you know that the entire thing is not gone.
Okay. It's not much to go off of, but it's something.
Yeah.
Alright, well, that's my turn. Oh,
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to use my bonus action to drain another first level spell slot into Source Roots.
Alrighty. Jibble, Mr. Elephant. There's now a wall of darkness in front of you, obscuring most of the bridge. There's also a halfling directly in front of you, but it seems like you could stomp over him without killing him if you wanted to.
Yeah, if I wanted to.
Jerk.
So this darkness, is it just it's like, was it pitch black?
I mean, it's this roiling cloud of darkness, so it's like black and grays, and it's got like a physical form to it. It's like a thick fog cloud in front of you that you cannot see through. Like a curtain, like somebody's got a big black blanket and just is, you know, big parachute material, and it's just encapsulating an area where that you can't see in. It's opaque.
Even with dark vision?
Even with dark vision.
Okay. Well, hold on, let me just check.
And for the benefit of the two Dragonborn caught inside, these guys shot at you fruitlessly with their... Three of them shot at you fruitlessly with their arrows, and then the last guy, you know, they like shouted to the last guy, and he put his bow down and cast the spell, and all of a sudden you were plunged into pitch darkness. You can't even see the Dragonborn next to you. Alright, Jebel.
The ones who were firing at me, where are they?
The arrows were flying from this tower. So your left side is riddled with arrows. Riddled with 3 arrows.
Hmm. Oh. I'm going to try and just heal myself.
You what?
Heal myself.
I heard the opposite. I thought it said kill yourself, and I was like, what? Choose life, Thomas.
So you're not going to charge in? Or is healing a bonus action?
I think the healing is bonus action.
I know that it costs spell slots. That's all I remember. Not this.
Bonus action to expend 1 spell slot to begin D8 HP.
Okay, so spend your bonus action, spend a spell slot, regain D8 HP. You have movement, action, and standard action.
Yeah. No, it's just the thing about... Like, this darkness in front of me, I can't see anything through it. It's just completely...
Yeah, it's almost like a solid wall itself, but you can see it roiling and shifting in front of you.
Yeah, so like, if I can't see anyone in there, I can't charge them. Or...
If you cannot see your target, you cannot make the attack. You can choose to attack a location, and then you roll the attack at disadvantage. And you don't know if there's anybody occupying the square, but you can always hope. So you can say, I feel like there's somebody in the square, I choose to attack this square, you roll the attack at disadvantage.
Okay, yeah. Charging towards the... That one's dead, the one
with the big X on it was a fallen body.
Yeah. Dead, so the one to his... his my right. His right? Our right. East.
Okay. So this guy here, number 24.
Yep.
Okay. So you're going to charge forward into the darkness and then try to attack that square.
Yep.
Okay. Please make an attack roll on this square at disadvantage.
I thought it said this squirrel. Make your attack on this squirrel with disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
18.
18. Windows. Correct window, please.
I
Alright.
asked my sister to look up something about Elder Scrolls one time. And she's like, is this how you spell it? And look over and she's typed in Elder Squirrels.
Nice. Alright, so you trumpet your triumph and charge into the darkness, and then you ram your tusks into the square. You can't see shit, but you're hoping that you can pin these guys against the wall, and you do find that before striking the stone wall in there unexpectedly, maybe expectedly, there is something in between your tusk and the wall. What is your damage?
Lucky elephant.
21 magical piercing damage.
Is that a 3 and a 1?
21.
21. That's a good hit. Alright.
Yeah, it's 3d8 plus 6.
You hear a shrill scream and cursing in this Underdark language as you plow into the darkness, unaware of your surroundings and just hoping.
Okay, DC 12 strength saving throw.
Alrighty. Strength saving throw. What did you get? That wasn't a great roll. I closed the tab that had that information. I have to make a new one. Or I moved one of the... Hang on. Sorry. You. Okay. Cool. He got a 3.
And he is prone.
Okay.
And if he's prone, I get to use my bonus action, which I did not use to heal, to make a stomp attack.
You did not use it to heal.
Nope.
Oh. Okay.
I still have it.
Okay. I thought I heard you declare that you were healing with it.
I said I was going to, but then you convinced me to attack instead, so I decided to keep it.
Oh, okay. Alright then. Make the next attack at disadvantage again. But you are pretty sure of what
If
square he's
prone,
in. Yeah. That should technically cancel the disadvantage, so it should be at nothing, because you would normally get
Yeah,
advantage for it. Yeah, go for it. Roll that normal.
is 19.
A 19. That's gonna hit. So you... and then you stomp him after he hits the ground. You're awful. All of you just hear these horrifying noises coming out of this cloud of darkness.
That is 23 magical bludgeoning damage.
The screaming stops after your foot comes down.
Just a sickening,
Your toes feel wet.
crushing, wet crushing.
Just
crunching, screen cut off by his wish.
Oh, it's bad.
Did he step on a watermelon?
Nobody can see anything, but you just know that you heard the elephant trumpet, you heard the loud thumping as it goes across the bridge, and a scream, and protracted, and then silence.
You know when Jebel reverts back to gnome form, he's just going to be covered. His hand is just going to be covered in, like, brain.
Oh.
Does it really work like that?
The rule of funny states.
There are
Very good point, Sam.
so many dead drow right now. There are
That's the only kind?
But are there
The best drow are dead drow.
guys. You guys are cold-blooded. Alright.
I'm no lizard.
Huh?
I'm no lizard. You're a lizard.
Illithid?
Lizard.
A lizard.
A lizard, cold-blooded.
Oh, a lizard, sorry. Like, I don't think anybody here is an illithid. Sam, have you been hiding things?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised. After Jababla, it is Raiken. Raiken, you're blind. You know what you heard. You are aware that there is a very large body near you. You're not entirely certain where it is because you are blind.
Okay. First off,
Your hunter's mark is telling you that your quarry is ahead, though.
yes, I was wondering, since I have advantage on perception checks, am I able to perceive better, like, where he might be then? Can I roll for that?
Well, perception checks that rely on sight are useless to people who can't see in the environment they're in.
I didn't know if it was also had to deal with hearing as well because of it.
Let's look at the wording of Hunter's Mark really quickly. See what we can do with it. Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Shark, not what I'm looking for. Let's see, you choose a creature that you can see. Until the spell ends, you deal extra damage. You had advantage on Wisdom Perception and Wisdom Survival checks to track it. If the target drops to 0, you can use a bonus action to mark a new creature. Okay. If you make a survival check instead, that's going to involve multiple ways of trying to track it. Either way, it's an active thing that you're doing, so you would be using your action, but it would help you, perhaps, to locate it, as opposed to just sight and sound. Survival is a little bit more comprehensive.
I see. Sure, he'll try that.
Okay, roll a survival check. I will say that you are at normal.
Well, I didn't see him. Alright, I didn't. I have no way of knowing exactly where he is, or better understanding of where he is.
Okay.
I rolled.
Swing
that
wildly.
one. I got a 1, so it's really only a 2. Wait, well, my survival, yeah, it's still a 2.
Okay. Alright, alright. Unless you want to use, like, a inspiration or something on there.
No,
Okay.
because I mean, I still wouldn't be able to do anything. I just know better where he might be.
Okay. Yeah, no, this darkness is really throwing you off. The hunter's mark is helping. You feel like he might not be in the same spot as when you approached, just due to, like, things you heard and the magical pull of the hunter's mark.
So
But
because
you can't get a read on where he actually is.
so because Raiken can't pick up anybody, he's just going to go forward until he hits a solid.
Okay. So you're just gonna walk straight forward blindly until you hit something solid.
Yep.
Okay. You walk straight forward 5, 10, 15 feet, and then you hit a stone wall.
Okay then. That'll be his turn.
Okay. Perfectly fair. Speaking is a free action, and you know the allies are around you somewhere in the darkness if you want to say anything before we end your turn.
No.
Okay.
I don't know what else I would say.
They've moved.
I feel like that'll almost be self-explanatory that they use the darkness to move around and not stay in the same spot that they were.
I mean, it is however your character feels. So, after Raiken is Laramendis.
Okay. I can't see where I am, but I begin moving down. I do have a question. Does Ash's sunlight dispel the darkness spell like casting sunlight does?
We're about to find out. How far are you gonna move?
At least up to the darkness.
Okay, so right up to the edge of the darkness?
Yeah.
Okay. You take your sunlight with you.
Goodbye, sunlight.
And as you move forward... Oops, not there.
Hello, new sunlight.
Now, does... This is if any portion of a light spell touches any portion of a darkness spell, the whole thing goes, right?
Yep.
It doesn't have to touch
If any of the spell's area overlaps with an area of light created by a spell of second level or lower,
Right.
the spell that created the light is dispelled.
Mm-hmm.
So you would probably need to look at...
I mean, your thing is being generated by an artifact.
Yeah. But that was darkness will dispel. that
Right, but they
spell. So
basically say
darkness
the
will not
exact same
dispel
thing.
it.
They say the same thing back and forth. Darkness at cast at second level here. And you know, these stat blocks only tell you they can cast a spell. It doesn't say what level they're casting it at. So I assume
think that
base
usually
level.
assumes lowest level.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're going by like the player race, it's second level.
Yeah. What level is sunlight?
Thank you.
Should be second, I think.
Dawn is 5th level if you're making actual sunlight. But I don't know about daylight, which I think is 3rd.
Daylight. What does daylight do precisely? Sphere of light, 3rd level. It sheds bright light and dim light. Shines from the object. If any of the spell's area overlaps with darkness of 3rd level or lower, it's dispelled. So yeah.
So, the dawn spell that Derek had mentioned doesn't specify that. It has other effects other than light and sunlight, and that it does damage.
Yeah. I mean, I would say we're gonna compromise then, since yours acts like the daylight spell, but actually produces sunlight.
Yeah.
Call it a 4th level spell. Seem fair?
Seems reasonable.
I mean, my original instinct was to just be like, well, it's being produced by an artifact, so unless something specifically says it can fuck with an artifact.
No, so I'm saying that the dawn spell doesn't say that it dispels darkness.
I understand. I'm looking at Dawn right now. But yours also doesn't deal damage.
That's true.
Yours is like...
It could just be the daylight spell, but actually, sensible.
Yeah.
And from an artifact instead of casting a spell.
Right.
Yeah, for the record, the only reason I brought Dawn up is because I just knew it was a spell that made light. I didn't actually know what it did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hadn't known that it existed.
Alright. Just need to see what we got here. So many overlapped areas. Just need to make sure. Okay, so that. Okay. Boof.
That means that the darkness spell turns off continual flame.
Yep.
Well, that sucks.
Don't draw your glowing weapons inside an area of darkness. Okay, this was dumb.
I mean, they're all gone anyway.
Well, you could make more at some point.
One of them isn't. Leah still has hers, I believe. It was in the bag of holding.
That. Paint.
Oh yeah, right. I'm not sure if it's... I think that might have been deactivated earlier. Well, it's the Everlasting Torch. I think that might still be alive.
I don't think anything else has gone to dispel it.
Yeah. I think it still lives.
Alright. Redrew those things. That was fun. Okay. Cool. So you move in. Piff. The area is revealed. This guy is super dead. As your daylight spell, your ash moves forward and the light comes with him. The darkness, the cloud of darkness that had enveloped everything dissipates, disappears, is burned away by the light of the spell. And you find that there are 2 drow corpses, thoroughly stomped by elephant feet, and a wall of stone.
Question.
Yes.
Can I see that there's no drow left on this side of the wall?
Where are you? Oh, I mean, assuming that you're looking through the thing that is 3 size categories larger than you, yeah, you don't see any, like, you don't see any sign that there are people standing on this side of the wall.
Then I'd like to stop concentrating on wall of stone.
Okay. Can do. Now, delete this. Is that an action to stop concentrating on it, or is it just
No,
a...
it's at any time, because it's just concentration.
Okay. Just making sure. So, Larry, you moved forward, and you can see that there are no people between you and the wall, and then after a moment the wall sinks back into the ground, the stone disappears entirely, and you see the... I should actually mark it here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I guess. entryway to the keep is closed. A iron reinforced wooden construction of a double door.
Let me just see if I have any particular spell that can help with door.
Help with door.
Do you not know knock anymore?
I never knew knock.
I thought you did.
Nope.
Oh. Now I'm wishing I hadn't gotten it.
Vendar knew knock.
I thought you had it.
Yeah, fucking lost it.
I mean, I wouldn't look at it as losing it, as you exchanged it for a woman who cares about you.
And then she just ran away. What was the point? I am going to say I think they've gone through the door and then cast Blade Ward.
Okay. So you cast Blade Ward on yourself.
The first time I have ever cast the spell, and probably
The last.
the only time I will ever cast the spell.
Okay. Okay. All done for your turn then?
Yep, that's me.
Alright. Nalia is going to move up. And when she gets there, she's going to begin casting a spell that she's preparing. And then she's going to, as she finishes incanting and doing the somatic components for it, she's going to look to you and say, "We going in?"
I was muted. I believe that's the only option that we have.
Okay. Naravar moves up. And he's going to be, standing in the rain. You can see the mist rising off of his glowing sword as though it's putting out its own heat. And he's looking around warily, and he says, "I think that if you all are going inside to deal with this, Nolly and I can cover the door. Keep you from getting trapped."
That's very sensible, thank you.
Which brings us to Leah.
Yeah.
You are back here. Everybody is at or on the bridge.
Yeah. I'm gonna follow suit.
Okay.
But I can see the enemy.
The enemy that you can...
I can zoom out of it so I can... Okay, yeah, so they're inside. So those are the only enemies we can see at the moment.
I mean, you really can't see these guys. They're too far away through the haze of the rain. It's covering them. You don't see... Yeah, like, these guys have gone. They disappeared up into the clouds. You don't see any more enemies here. You see your party is all moved up to the door and are now, like, kind of entered holding pattern.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna double move so I'm up closer.
So a double move could get you as far as, like, up by the elephant. Where do you want to be?
Yeah. Put me there, by the elephant.
By the elephant? Okay. Full move. Boo! So you
Because
just...
I know the elephant is Jebel.
Yeah. Alright, so you come dashing up. And stop by the elephant. You see that the elephant's large gray feet with their stone-like toes are just covered in red gore. And there are these trampled bodies strewn and leaking on the ground nearby. You see that also his tusks are covered in blood. It's dripping off as the rain flows over him.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretend I didn't see it. Let's wipe that from the memory.
Okay. Doing anything with your bonus action? Do you have one?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I don't think I have any bonus actions that's useful.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. Most people don't. Vendar, back to the top of the order.
Alright. I will move onto the bridge.
Boop, boop, boop. So you can move up, be adjacent to Laramendis and Naravar, or you could move around the group and be further over here. You could double move to get up close to the door.
Can you scroll out a bit? So I can see more.
You are back here at the edge of the current light zone. The light extends all the way across the river, but ends before the wall of the keep.
So we're going inside, right?
I mean,
That seems to be the plan. We're all heading towards the door.
I don't see why not.
Okay, well, I'll double move to the space right above Raiken.
here?
As far as I can go.
Yeah, it seems to be...
Alright,
well, no. Hang on. I think I can do better than this. There, if I use the fact that you can cut across the corners of people, you could get here in 50, and then if you wanted, you could get, you know, further ahead to here or here.
Let's just put the one above Raiken.
Okay. So you ask your question, and Raiken says yes.
Okay. Then I will apply a vial of purple worm poison to 3 arrows.
Okay. You do so. So you now have 3 poisoned arrows and a poisoned rapier.
Yep. And I can reuse the vials that these are in, right?
Yeah, as long as you make sure that you're pocketing the vials, you now just have empty vials.
Okay, good. Because that's what I was doing. I just wanted to make sure that I could do that.
Yep. I know how quickly you use them. It is a very sensible idea to hang on to empty ones. Okay. So that's Vendar's turn, which means it's now Yukikaze's turn. The group has now caught up to you, Yukikaze. They have verbally confirmed that the plan is to go inside the keep, and that Nalia and Naravar are going to cover the door to make sure that more soldiers don't try to come in after you.
And the door those guys ran through, and it's not open.
It is not open. You're not entirely certain that they ran through the door, but you do not see them.
Oh yeah, because it's heavy rain and whatnot.
They moved under the cover of the darkness spell.
Yeah.
Cowards.
So can Drow see in the darkness spell?
I am going to move up to the door.
Okay.
And I'm gonna push on it without necessarily opening it because I don't want to get jumped. So I want to see how much resistance there is to the door to see if I can push it.
Because of the mass of people up here.
If I can't move out of the way, that's fine. I'll move as close, but probably get in front of Raiken.
Okay. Do you want to be off to the side, or have moved yourself directly in front of him?
I can't move any forward, so I'm gonna say right in front of him.
Okay.
I have a thought, but I can't view or verbalize my thought because people can't read my thoughts.
But you can talk.
Yes. Actually, I should say... Jebel, you want to bust through the door? And that's all I'll say.
After Yukikaze,
Double smash.
the bad guys are going to try shooting. Person generating light is most obvious.
That's why I cast Blade Ward.
So that is a 15 to hit.
Okay, 15 will miss.
Okay. Arrow number 2. That is a 1 with disadvantage, so that will miss. And another 1 with disadvantage, so that will miss.
Sweet.
So suddenly, even though you've got this brilliant source of light, it's like the light coming from you is reflecting off of the falling drops and making you even harder to see. These arrows just rain down, skittering and ricocheting off the stones and plunking out into the water of the river.
Blade Ward continues to be useless.
Nice.
I mean, every other time I rolled them for disadvantage, it was like a 15 and a 14 and 2 19s. This was like a 19 and a 1, a 13 and a 1, a 7 and a 9.
Yeah, you know, proper disadvantage.
Yeah. Alright. So, after the bad guys go, it becomes Cyrus' turn.
Yay! Charge!
You're just gonna shout it at Jebel?
No.
Oh.
I'm gonna move up 25 feet as much as I can, moving around people because I need my action this time.
Alright, well, if you move through the elephant, which you can apparently... hang on. Yeah. If you move through the elephant, which you can apparently do for free, you could get to there. Southalia.
Alright. Put me there, and I'll cast Mirror Image.
Mirror Image, okay.
It's about time I'm in a place where there's hopefully a chance for one of my defensive spells to work.
I'm gonna use the Grey X for this one.
Alright.
Alright. Blop! Mirror Image. Alright. Nothing else?
Bonus action to break down one more first level spell slot.
Okay. And then it becomes Raiken's turn. No, I lied. Then it becomes Jebelala's turn.
Charge.
Okay, so there's no one between me and the door?
Couple of corpses.
That you kind of already squished.
Mm-hmm.
You only squish one of them.
I suppose they've become a liquid. Yeah, I'm going to charge the door.
Bop, 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 bop.
Assuming that it's closed.
It is. It is. It is a... It looks like it's made out of heavy wood reinforced with iron banding.
Okay, yeah.
Times when it would be fun to have disintegrate.
So, it's not moving, so I'd like you to roll the damage for attacking it as hard as you can.
Roll the dice as hard as I can.
Roll them hard. Make them fly.
And then the door needs to make a strength saving throw or be prone.
Yeah. That's just the gore attack, is it? Or because that's piercing, or am I doing a different? The elephant's main melee attack is gore, which is piercing. Is that what I'm doing, or am I?
Do you have a bludgeoning one? I mean, either is fine with me, but bludgeoning is better for structures.
Yeah, I know. Stomp is bludgeoning. I was just wondering if you wanted me to still use gore, or maybe just kind of reskin it or something.
Yeah, and reskin it as a slam attack.
Okay. Oh, that was shit. I rolled 3 2s. Ooh. So that's 12.
Okay. Let's see here. So the elephant trumpets and charges forward, ramming his entire body weight into it. You see the doors buckle. You hear the metal grind and bend somewhat, and you can actually see a gap appear in between the two heavy doors as it slightly parts, and you hear the telltale sound of strain and buckling of wood on the other side. You also hear, muffled through the thick wood, the shouting of people on the other side. Slams back closed, clearly damaged. I will allow you to make a stomp attack.
Stomp attack.
Am I rolling to attack, or am I just doing the damage?
No. You hit. Give me the damage. And I want to ask the party, as you see this elephant bashing himself against it and clearly making dents, clearly damaging the door, are you going to let him do what he's doing, or do you want me to still run through initiative and you want to do stuff too?
I mean, I could blast at it around him.
If you want to, you can, or you can let him do what he's doing. I will say that you can tell that, given enough time, he will get through it. And he's not using any resources.
Well, if I can assist with cantrips, I'll do that.
Okay. What's the damage from Stomp?
21.
21. Nice. So the elephant rears back and brings its front feet down against the door, and then slides its full weight down, hitting the ground again. You see once again the doors push in somewhat, and you can hear the splintering of wood on the other side, followed by the shouts of terrified people. 24, you said. 21, you said.
Yep.
That was a good hit. That one dealt a significant amount of damage to the door. Like, one more of those, and you'll get through it. Get a freaking siege engine here. Okay, so according to the turn order, after Jebel is Raiken. Raiken, are you going to help or stay out of the way?
Oh, can I back up again? Wait, I used...
You were here, so you used 15 feet, so yeah. That's 30 feet of movement. I can back you up to there.
Back back up one more. Does that bring me?
You need it to be 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, right here is fine. Okay. Raiken, are you gonna... He backs up, and you can see he's preparing to charge again.
Let's see. I guess, yeah, Raiken will take a swing at the door, I guess. He'll walk up, take a swing at the door. Ha!
I'm helping too. I swear.
I mean, it's not moving, so just roll damage.
Oh, okay, good.
And you're using an axe.
Poorly with my d20. Yes.
Axes are better against wood than, like, swords or daggers would be, so...
My battle axe. Where's my deal?
If you make a big enough cut in it, you need to say, "Here's Johnny."
All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
8 points.
8 points.
Slashing damage.
Alrighty.
I don't know, does it take radiant damage too?
I mean, if you wanted to... Yeah, what's the radiant damage?
No, because if I land a blow, I get my...
Right. You have improved Divine Smite. What's the radiant damage?
5.
5. Okay. You can see that the radiant damage scorches it, but because it's not a living creature, it's not as much. So... It helps, but not a lot.
Okay. Well, he'll attack one more time then.
Okay.
This time it's 10 slashing damage with 7 radiant damage.
Okay.
And then he'll back off to the side in front of Yukikaze.
Okay. After that assault, this door is looking like it'll come down when definitely will come down when the elephant charges it. I will say this for those of you who are tactically minded: if you destroy the door with damage, it just crumples basically, and isn't in the way anymore. If he bashes it open, it's going to become a weapon.
Let him bash it open.
It's gonna fall on people.
I'll be on standby.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that there are different ways of handling this.
Someone's gonna get smooshed.
Volinar killed the guy by knocking the door open.
Alright, let's see how this works.
Yeah, Raiken killed the guy by
Right now, Bruno actually
because of Bruinor.
Yes, Bruno actually killed the guy, and then you sent his corpse, his bloody corpse, careening across the room. That's what happened.
Spread these guys properly around the room. Oh, their numbers changed. That's not helpful. What are they there? 21, 23, 24. 21, 23, 24. 21. You are 23. You are 24. Sorry. It's important that they not do that. Alright. There we go. We're gonna need a lot more of these guys, huh? Copy that. Okay, sorry. Alright. Alright, so... this... Cyrus is going to wait. Everybody, I assume, is going to wait. But what you can do is stack up. Shall I assume that is what you want to do? Be ready to jump in?
Yes, I would like to prepare Ray of Frost to hit the first Drow in there that I see.
Okay. You may do that.
I was not concentrating on a spell, so...
Yep, you may do that. Nalia is still concentrating on her spell.
Yeah, can I prepare an action to shoot Drow once it, or would I still be at disadvantage?
Because you're in the rain, you would still be at disadvantage, but I mean, you could still do it.
I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do that.
All right.
I'm not gonna do it.
So Svendar, Yuki, are you happy with your position? There's not really anywhere else to go. You know that once this elephant charges forward, things are going to start happening.
Since I got to go to the bathroom, I muted myself. Yes, I am okay where I am at.
Okay. Alright, and Cyrus is the last person before Jebel gets to attack again. Cyrus.
He had said a couple minutes ago that he would be right back.
Okay. I'm going to move forward. Very well. So, Jebel, you're going to charge forward?
Yep.
Okay. Roll your damage for the initial charging strike.
And for the desecration of those two corpses. We have to know how badly they are stoned.
Oh, they're puddles.
They're not corpses anymore. They're just piles of mush.
Ugh. Thought it was bad when I had you guys.
Alright, chum.
Yeah, they are definitely chum at this point.
23. Magical.
Okay. Oops, wrong window. Door. That door be super fucked.
Those are expensive.
It lands on the Drow inside. Just
I mean, it bursts in and tears off its hinges. It's going to scatter these guys. They're not going to do well. Okay, so yeah. You burst this door in, and these guys are going to make the strength DC 12 strength saving throw. 31 does not make it. State prone. 23 Does not make it. State prone. 21 does make it. Not prone. 24 does not make it. Prone. And 32 does make it. Not prone. Okay. So, what I need... Eight, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 4, 5. That'll be good enough for now. Each of these guys. Interesting. Okay, so... 23, 21, 24, 21. It's thrown back by the doors exploding inward and flying off their hinges. He hits the wall and dies.
Giant splatter.
Yep. 23. Bloodied. 24. Also bloodied. 31. Not bloodied. And 32. Not bloodied. That's going to put our Elefun friend here, as all these guys are prone, and there's, you know, big hunks of broken door, like, you know, fully thirds and halves of these doors as you burst them in and broke them into large chunks, just slammed on top of them, scattered around the room now. So, I believe, because you successfully made a charge attack, you get to stomp as long as there is a prone target.
Well, technically it's if I hit a target, as it says, if I hit a target with charge and they fail, they go prone.
These count.
Okay.
The ones with the blue circles count.
Smush him.
So many options.
A little dance on all of them.
Fourth
Which-
only. The one on the right. Circle on the right.
Okay, number 24, the one who is not got the yellow triangle.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll the attack.
I have advantage this time because of the prone, right?
Yes, and you're not in darkness.
Is 24.
24 will hit.
Magical bludgeoning damage.
15 magical bludgeoning damage. You crush him to death.
All going according to plan.
Okay. After Jebel, I'm going to have our prepared action peoples go, starting with Laramendus.
Okay. I have disadvantage because the only ones I can see are prone, so I attack whichever one is closest to me, since that's...
Okay.
What?
This guy's got cover
Order
from
for
the
insight.
elephant in the doorway, so I think this guy's your best bet.
Cover doesn't... Unless it's complete cover.
Okay.
Doesn't
Then
matter.
you can
Spell sniper.
target the marked one or the not marked one.
I'll go for the not marked one.
Okay.
That is a 16 and 17 on die for disadvantage. Woo!
Nice.
It works for all elves.
Alright, so you hit. What is the damage?
Yeah, that's a 25 on
Yeah.
AC.
I figured. I figured that was not going to miss.
If I find my other D8. It's a D4. There you are. 15 points of frost damage, and their speed is reduced by 10 until the start of my next turn.
Okay. He is now bloodied and he's slowed.
Reducing his speed by 10 makes standing up even worse for him.
It's so hard to tell the difference between a hidden token and a not hidden token. It just puts a little gray filter over them, making them look slightly darker. Okay, so then it was Nalia, who loves her magic missile, but can only see 2 living targets. So she's going to give them 2 missiles each. From
I don't believe that she could have prepared to cast magic missile if she was continuing to concentrate on the spell, because preparing a spell is concentrating on it.
You're right.
Which she would have known, so...
So either those men fell.
Oh god.
But that is your
Poor
decision
bastards.
between the two.
I think those men fell.
Oh god. Raiken knows the feeling.
So, as she, moved up and said, "Are we going in?" She's going to prepare, and then moments later, you would have just heard crump, crump, crump. These distant, slightly muffled thuds through the rain. And you would see these men bouncing off the stone tower and falling down. They're dead.
It's a mean spell.
They fell almost 200 feet.
They weren't flying, they fell with style. So
They weren't falling with style, they were just falling.
They landed melodroitly.
Splat. So many people becoming liquid.
Right. Alright, so this guy is taking 2 and 3. So 5 points of force damage, number 32. Not great. And this guy is taking 3 and 3. So 6 points. And he is number 23, who is here. So he is very close to dead. Okay. Okay. So then, it is now Jebly Raiken. There is a big elephant clogging up the doorway, but you could try and squeeze past him.
It's my best bet.
I mean, large, huge. He is 2 size categories larger than you. So what does that mean? He does not actually squeeze for allied movement?
I don't know about as far as I just know that means that I don't believe it means that you just can't be stopped. For like an enemy can't stop you if they're that much bigger than you.
Oh, okay. So it's probably always squeezing. Okay, so you could squeeze through here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 feet to get into the room.
Oh, God. That would mean I'd have to dash.
I mean, at least most people in the room are dead. Well, not most. Less than half.
What? Actually, the complete opposite. Yeah, screw it. Raiken will just charge through. It's Raiken.
Okay.
He'll go right in between. Yeah, right.
25, 30.
Yep,
This is
that's-
35. You know that these are openings here. The wall kind of curves around, and then there's a man-sized tall doorway, and then a divider, and then a man-sized tall doorway, and then the wall on the other side of the room. It's a very tight little foyer here.
Yeah. All right.
There appears to have been a nice rug on the floor here. It is now covered in splinters and sawdust, splinters of wood and sawdust, scraps of metal, and a lot of blood.
Yep, and blood and bone, muscle here and there.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Yeah, well...
So you can keep moving. You know, you could move on top of this corpse. He wouldn't be able to. So, like, this is 5, 10. You know, you could even move here instead. 10. You know, then move to here. 15. You could go all the way around this guy without provoking an attack of opportunity.
Raiken is going... Can I get up one more space? Am I able to do
here?
that? So I'm... so that I have the one guy above me and the other guy to the right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that right
yeah.
there.
Yeah, you've got the movement for that.
Yeah, Raiken
Because
will
of
do
your
that.
dash. Excuse me, my throat is all fucked up.
Raiken will do that, and that is all that he will do then.
Okay. Raiken moves in, which means it is now Laramenda's turn. You get your reaction back.
Cool. I am going to cast. Did that dude? That dude hasn't gone to stand up yet.
Make sure that you make sure that you marked off another round for Ash for the last, actually 2, for being outside, and then when you finish this one, you'll mark off another one.
Yeah, I will be at 7 after my turn.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, that matches with what I thought. Cool. All right, you're kind of cast.
I am going to cast Ray of Frost again at the dude that I hit with Ray of Frost last time because it wore off, so he'd be able to stand normally, and that makes me sad.
Oh.
That was considerably worse by 10 on each die because I got a 6 and a 7. Does a 15 hit his AC?
Number 31. Yes.
Sweet. He takes 12 points of frost damage, and his speed is reduced by 10 until the start of my next turn.
12 points, you say?
They do say.
He, in fact, needed exactly 12 to die.
Okay, he's dead.
That magic missile was not for nothing. I'm sorry, he didn't get hit with a magic missile. It was this guy then. That guy. 32. 32, yeah, actually, this guy should be marked as bloody. Boof. This guy got hit with the door. I don't remember what else hit him that made him that low. I'm looking at the
Magic
damage. I can see the
missile.
door damage, and then he took 15 points of damage from something. I'm like,
That was from my previous Ray of Frost on.
oh! Okay. Then yes. Sorry. My brain was not working right there. You even said that. Okay, so yeah, you just Ray of Frosted him twice and he died.
Yeah. Searching
Okay.
right, standing there.
Standing there, getting hit
Lying
with a
down
door.
there on the job, no less.
Good God. Bolaire, Nalia. I think Nalia is going to prioritize moving to here. And she has transportation. What does your list look like, Nalia? She did the reverse gravity thing. That was fun. Which, you know, don't worry. It's not an extremely expensive spell or anything.
Nope, not at all.
Oof. Nope, she already used that spell slot. She can't do it. I'm like, oh, she has Disintegrate. Okay. She's going to do something incredibly mean. She's going to, whoops, I closed that, but I wanted to see quickly verbal and somatic. She's going to, incant in Draconic, and perform a complex series of hand gestures, before sweeping out her arms in front of her, and you see this wave of arcane energy, yellow in color, flows out from her extended hands, like waterfalls toward the ground, and then begins spreading across the ground, and you see it flows over the dead bodies of the drow around you into the room, and suddenly the weapons on their belts and laying by their hands spring up into the air and begin floating. I think she can only cast it this round. Let's see. As a bonus action, command. If you control multiple, you can command any or all of them at the same time during its next turn. Okay. We'll just put them on the tick right after her for simplicity. And so these daggers and swords and arrows are going to just, there's about 10 of them total, are going to start bouncing, rolling, or toppling end over end into the room around the elephant and coming up from these bodies. And they're all going to target this guy in the corner, number 32. Bad day for him. As a small army of weapons suddenly starts attacking him on their own. Bad day to wear light armor, 32.
Bad day to not call out sick.
First one misses. 14, that'll hit. That'll hit. That'll hit. That'll miss. 5 more of those. Just roll ones. So we got 3 hits and 2 misses right now. 4 hits, 5 hits, 6 hits, 7 hits. Alright, so 7 hits and 3 misses on 10 attacks. Not bad. I think this guy's gonna get mulched. They do 1d4 plus 4 damage. So, even if I say that's a 2 plus 4 is 6, he gets hit with 6, 7 times. That's 42 damage, which is more health than he has. So, this guy just gets hacked to pieces by a bunch of floating weapons. I mean, she's burning some major spell slots to do this, so...
She doesn't want to save them just in case.
She can keep that spell around for a little while, so she's going to. Alright, so that was terrifying. Death, death, death. Okay. Enough of that. It's 15 minutes left. Nalia, Naravar. Let's get him. Leah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like an hour. might actually be. Okay. Is it even possible for me to get in past this elephant?
10, 20, 30, 35 to enter the room.
Okay.
So you can, you'll just have to dash probably.
I have to double move, yeah.
Do you have any teleports?
Oh, that's a very good point. No, I don't. I'm out of spell slot.
Do you want to dash in, or would you like to try to attack?
No, if there's enemy still alive in there.
Right next to me.
Okay.
He is laying down though, so...
He is laying down.
No, I don't
Would
really
have
want to
cover. Oh, did you get spell sniper or no?
No.
Okay, yeah. Gotta deal with some cover then.
He is cover, and because he's prone, you're at disadvantage.
Yeah.
But you could always dash in and... hope that he misses when he attacks with disadvantage if you wanted to move elsewhere in the room.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't really want to put myself in danger there. I tend to wanting to be at the distance and not close combat. Last time I tried being close combat, even when invisible, I almost got eaten.
She doesn't need to move into his threatened area.
It's true.
Unless he has reach.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Because you could just move using this square instead and then move out here. Same amount of movement to get through, so it'd be 35 to get to this square. So you'd still need a dash, but you would not be in danger directly.
Okay, let's try that then. Let's double move and go to the corner there.
Okay. 10, 20, 30, 5, 10. You're in the corner.
Yeah. So now I can clearly see this room, and I see that there's only one survivor, and I don't see anything around the corner or anything like that.
Let's see. Around the corner, it looks like it's a narrow hallway and then a wall.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna stay here.
Okay. Then
And just here on Raiken.
after Leah is Vendar. Vendar, you are here. Got some big old bug eyes.
Okay. I would like to enter the foyer.
Alright. 5, 15, 25, 35, 40. So you have to double move to get here. But you could get over here or here with the same amount of movement. So where do you want to be?
Could I move around to that corner next to Raiken?
So 40, 45, 50, 55. You could be here without provoking an attack of opportunity.
Oh yeah, I'll move there and I'll stab that one on the ground with my rapier.
Okay, roll with advantage.
So it's 24 to hit.
24 to hit is going to hit.
Okay. I do get sneak attack because he's Raiken there.
Because Raiken's there, and also you have advantage, so...
Yes, multiple reasons.
Multiple reasons.
Super sneak attack. Same amount of dice, but it just feels better.
So it's 28 non-magical piercing damage.
28 non-magical piercing damage. And didn't you poison this weapon? With
I
Drow
did,
poison?
Drow poison. So if he's not dead, then he's got to roll to be paralyzed.
Okay. Goodness gracious.
I think someone's at the door.
No, he's super dead. Super dead. Okay, so you have now...
Well, the good news is he's not paralyzed.
Yeah. He does not have to roll against paralysis. He does not have to worry about that. Okay. Given that there's 9 minutes left to our normal stop time, and that's pretty good, I'm going to make a note here. Initiative. Double clickies. Boom. Now, hopefully, when we start next session, I remember to start with Yukikaze. That's pretty good. So, you managed to cross the bridge to Lightstone Keep and bash the door in.
It's appropriate way to door.
I mean, and use that bastion door as a weapon to take down your enemies really well. So, the elephant was a good idea.
It was originally for roll funny, but ended up being rather effective.
Yeah, that was awesome. The red turned into an elephant was super useful.
Indeed.
I will point out that I mentioned last episode that the elephant was going to end up having been a really good idea for future reasons. This was the future reason.
Oh no, Tristan can read our freaking ideas before we even do them.
That's because he puts them there in the first place.
I didn't tell him to turn into an elephant, but I knew you'd need to get through the door eventually, so when he chose elephant, I'm like, oh, this will help if he keeps the form.
Saved a 4th level spell slot on my part to cast Stone Shape.
Yep.
Or Shape Stone, whatever it is. Which I still haven't used.
I mean, you are now in a building. You are now in a building made almost entirely of thick stone walls. How much stone can it shape at once?
It can do so. You touch a stone object of medium size or smaller, or a section of stone no more than 5 feet in any dimension.
Okay. Yeah. As you can see, we've got 5-foot thick walls.
Yep.
So we can walk through the walls with your help?
A limited number of walls. If I do nothing but Stone Shape for my spell slots capable of casting it, we can do it 4 times.
That sounds like a waste of a 6th level spell slot.
I mean, it probably is a waste of a 6th level spell slot.
Now, could you use that to encase somebody in stone?
Mm,
Just go up
Yeah,
underneath.
no.
Just go run up to him, put your hands on the ground underneath him, just like whoosh, swallows him up.
I mean, I suppose I could. No, it would be really hard to like. There might be some ways that it could be used for offensive like manners like that, but it would be really difficult and require a lot of thought. The spell is not designed for that.
Well, okay.
Anywho.
Time for everyone's favorite question.
Yeah. Are we getting XP tonight? Or are we saving that still?
We're not out of combat yet, so just know that you're going to get a mound of XP at the end of this.
Oh,
Still, once all these drow have been slaughtered.
You know, this is starting to feel like the stacking the +2s in Uno.
Stacking the +2s in what?
Uno.
Uno. Oh, you just keep getting skipped over?
No, there's
Yeah, the rule if
yeah.
somebody plays a draw 2, then if you have a draw 2, you can play your draw 2, and then the next person after you has to draw 4, and you can keep stacking them.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and if it really sucks when you're the person who started it and it gets dumped on your lap.
Yeah, and you get a +8. I've had to go all the way around more than once before, where I was the second one, then I had to draw 10 because I went all the way
Okay, but
around.
imagine this though. You're playing Uno with some of your best friends on Xbox, and you end up with a draw 24.
That's called Una the movie, take 2.
Yeah, that's a
I nearly
shitload.
cried. I nearly cried that night.
All right.
Were you
well,
at Uno right before?
I'd love to stay in
Yep.
chat, but homework calls.
Alright, go for it. I'm going to end the stream. Thank you
Good
all
night.
for coming.
Yeah.
See you again
Good
next
work.
week.